Hello, everybody. Can you see me and hear me? Thank you, thank you. I got a new mic so that we never have an incident like that reading that got muted ever again. Is the sound better? Wait, no, what? You can't hear me? Yes. Okay. Is the sound better than it was before? Or does it like sound weird or anything? Probably going to stay on for about an hour and a half-ish. Okay, good. And it's very comfortable too. It's like not in the ear, it's like a over the ear. So there we go. Okay. Let me scroll back up to when I started. My son's ex-wife was suddenly stopped my son seeing his 3 children for what seems like no reasonable reason. Will this have to be solved by going to court? There's the children. I feel like it's going to go to court. I feel like there's a solution that's going to be offered that your son would not want to agree to. So almost like, okay, we push and pull until eventually I give you like 1 day a week, for example, or something like that. And that's not cool with him. So I do feel like there's going to be something offered, but it's not going to be what he wants. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. It may be something about child support as well. King of Swords in reverse. No, trying to take his power. I feel like it's going to end up being either mediation or court because of some kind of lackluster offer that he doesn't want to agree to because it doesn't feel like enough of something or it feels like too much of something, either money or time. Which direction should I go in my job search? Warehouse, courier driver, or something different altogether? Warehouse. Feels like at the warehouse, you're going to be held back from something, almost like you could be doing something with more responsibility than what you'd be doing in the warehouse. This also reads to me like wear and tear on your body, which warehouse would make sense. But it feels like there's something specific, like knees or back or something that is already not great, that this is going to make worse. Carrier driver. No, I'm getting just a no. No carrier driver. I do feel like there is another option. Yeah. Walking away from something unfulfilling, seeing things clearly. Was there something on your mind last year around Christmas time you were considering? Either that or around this holiday season, there's going to be an idea that kind of crosses your path, one or the other. If it hasn't happened yet, then it'll happen this upcoming. But I feel like a third option is the best one. Dreamt John O'Keefe came in room and handed a manila envelope. He was very tall and looked depressed. Manila envelope. Burial in reverse. Oh, hidden or missing key. So yes, John, hidden or what is the hidden or missing key? What does the manila envelope reference? Justice, karma, imprisonment in reverse, and travel. Oh, that's direct. Is it fair to say that the manila envelope is representing movement starting to happen behind the scenes about people that have not seen the inside of a jail cell for this yet, aka not Karen? It's like in that manila envelope, it's representing truth coming to the surface. Oh, biology, chemistry, scientific, something in the hard evidence is what I want to call it. like a re-looking through at certain evidence that may have been ignored or disregarded the first time around. I need a song for that. Way Up by Ryan Oakes. One second. Hope you can hear that. This is supposed to be noise. I'm going to look into that later. I'm going to pull up those lyrics later. Okay, let's see. What are my spiritual gifts and any messages from my guides? It does feel like there's a gift that hasn't fully manifested yet because there's some kind of wound that's blocking you from believing in yourself. Oh, there it is. I get the feeling that once we know what the wound is, we'll know what the gift is. Emotional expression, inhibition, holding back, feeling like you can't express. It feels like there is this almost like ability to channel for other people, but only when you are accessing your own emotions. It's like you can see what other people need to know or hear through your own experiences and emotions. So if you're holding that back, and I have root chakra blockage on the bottom of the deck. So if you're holding yourself back from your own emotions, it kind of makes that feel like it's harder to come by in terms of those channels. Who are my spirit guides? The message is from them. Something needs a second look through, a perspective shift, so you can see how there was actually two options when you thought there was only one option, and that option wasn't ideal. Self-employment, commitment, resourceful, confident, and rewarding. Look up a bluebird or a blue jay, and whatever guide you're led to from looking up that search is the one that's coming forward for you now. I guess type into Google like spirit guides associated with a blue jay. And I feel like, were you asking me about something business-wise before? It's almost like you're being pushed to take the next step or the next action in terms of something. It said self-employment. So it feels like, it almost feels like you're considering if the next step is right, and this would be a confirmation that it is. Will I find a job soon? Is it full-time, and is it finance or secretarial admin role? Not as soon as you'd like. Finance or secretary? I feel like the secretary admin role is going to be something that you can get your footing in quicker. But it's almost like there's more reward coming from the finance role. So it kind of feels like it's up to you if you want to pursue the one that you can get into quicker or the one you want to pursue be more fulfilling. It feels like, is there another option than the ones that you've already looked at? Yeah, Page of Pentacles in reverse, King of Cups. I almost want to say, yeah, Nine of Pentacles as well. I almost want to say there's almost like you've been tunnel visioned on what you think is the only options for you, but there's like something else that's kind of like a little bit of branching out of these two options, but would be fulfilling and more time quicker to get in, like a mix of the two. But if I had to pick, I really couldn't, because it's going to depend on if you want to just get in the door quicker, which would be secretary, admin, or if you want something more fulfilling, which feels like it'd be finance, or there's an opportunity for both of them in a different option. Who are my spiritual guides and message for me? This is an ancestor or like a family member that either passed when you were very young or passed right before you were born. I want to say passed before you were born. So this would be maybe like a great-grandmother or a great-grandfather. Great-grandfather. And if you know your great-grandfather personally, then this would be a great-great. It feels like someone who passed. What's the message from them? It feels like there's a situation to be addressed, and almost like you're the catalyst that will allow other people to address what they've been avoiding. So your job is to know that you potentially trigger people just by existing. And it's not your responsibility to handle their triggers, because right now you're like a flashlight that someone else's spirit team is using to shine in their face so they can realize that they were in the darkness. But your job is just to be the observer. Your job isn't to do anything. Yeah, 3 of Wands in reverse. Don't wait around for your time to engage. You are just meant to observe and continue on without letting it affect you. Who is the voice in my right ear in the middle of the night? It said it's over. I think I know what he meant. Perhaps a song. Oh, I want to say I want to word this as not who you would expect it to be. I want to say not an ex, not who you'd expect it to be, not a friend. Not an ex, not who you'd expect it to be, not a friend. Then who is it? Star in reverse. Is it fair to say that this is a spirit guide and not someone that you know? Okay, yeah, okay, 2 of Cups. Is it fair to say that what was being said was not it's over? Almost like the ending of something so something new can begin because you've created the proper balance, but I don't feel as though the message is like it's over. Almost like trying to gear your attention to something that's beginning. So I guess it could have been something about it's over. I'm just not feeling like it's, I guess I want to say it doesn't feel like the energy behind it's over is the way that you were initially taking it. Something feels like less detrimental or less pushy. It's more of like church bells, like church bells alerting you to the end of one service because the next service is about to begin. Yeah, Knight of Wands. Look, there's the drum, the music. He Found Something by David Goggins. It's not a song, it's a speech. But I was just picking up on that song, that speech as I was giving that message. It feels like there's something in there that relates to the it's over part. I feel a new guide has joined my spiritual team. Any messages from him about why he's here now? I almost want to say as like, you've been pouring into others at the expense of yourself. And it's almost as if this guide is maybe a little bit more pushy or a little bit more stubborn. And since it's a new energy, it's something you're going to be paying attention to, that you're going to have to think and unpack, like what's going on? Who is this? Why am I picking up on different energy? And in doing that, it's supposed to make you recognize that you need to pull the attention back to you right now, because the attention has been on taking care of everyone else. And it's almost like your cup runneth empty. So this guide is trying to highlight where your focus needs to be and where it has not been, which is on you. Yeah, like you weren't seeing the cup being empty, but it's time to turn it around is essentially the message. Hold on. I'm seeing one of these cards. Oh, perfect timing. Auspicious clockwork, planning, and patience. The yin yang, the good and the bad, and the bad and the good. I almost want to word this as like your role in someone else's journey, your role in someone else's karmic experience is done. Now it's time for you to flip the focus back to you. Will Nova come in August or induction day in September? I feel like it's going to be right on the cusp. I don't know if that means in September, but before induction day. But I feel like it's going to be, because this would be, I'm not changing the plans. But I do feel almost like you may have an instance where you go to the hospital thinking that it's time and it ends up not being time. And then it happens a little bit closer to the induction date is what I'm feeling. I don't feel like it's in August, but I feel like there's something in August that you may feel like it's time and then it ends up being a little bit of longer wait. But everything will go well because the world is here. Everything will go well. Let me hop over to this list for a little bit. Carrie, new member. Thank you. Let me pull. Oh, that one wanted to come out. Your path is more difficult because your calling is higher. Make it happen. Shock everyone. Patricia, new member. Thank you. Stop letting your potential go to waste because you don't feel ready enough. People with half your talent are making serious waves while you're still waiting to feel ready. And guide it to take action. This is all falling over. Sending love and light to all. I've been very unwell lately, so I haven't been around much. I was already pulling one of these. Let's see. Oh. You will overcome everything that is making you question yourself. Some kind of answers or clarity coming into how you're feeling. Not feeling like yourself, not feeling grounded, maybe not even feeling supported, but I tend to believe that this is like medical. Like I don't feel like I'm getting the answers from people that I'm seeking the answers from, but the Queen of Wands is starting to feel like yourself again. So this is quite literally the epitome of this. You're going to overcome it. I would say focus on the little things so the big things can fall into place. That seems important. Nutrition, hydration, sleep, stress. Giving yourself a brain break feels very like brain break. I mean, like meditation, writing, journaling, something to dump out all the thought cars. It feels like that's going to help start spinning the wheel to give you the energy to get the answers is what I'm getting. Message from your guides. There's a wound being highlighted, and it's almost like you're getting little bee stings of it so that you can address the wound, but it's almost like you're pushing it back down, and your guides are like, we don't want to fully trigger you, but we want you to face this, because if not, then we'll have to trigger you with it, if that makes sense. What is the wound? Chronic guilt or shame. I right away what I got with this is you're feeling you are feeling guilty because someone else is ashamed of how they chose to treat you. And there's a need to face that so that you don't carry it with you. It's making you shut off from certain pieces of your emotions. Yeah. That's how you complete the cycle, is by releasing that and letting their own choices be something they deal with and not something you carry. New member, thank you, Miss Terry. Butterfly is struggling to get out of the cocoon and someone cuts it to help it out. The butterfly dies. You have to let the butterfly struggle because the struggle forces blood into the wings so they can spread them and fly. The same concept is necessary for us to be able to soar. So right now, the freedom is in the overcoming of the struggle. Financial guidance for the next 6 months. You're worried about a worst case situation. That's not going to happen. But you're also hopeful for some kind of relief. That's also not going to happen yet. It feels like there's a learning curve. A learning curve in embracing or facing the residue of a money wound. It's almost like you've healed it, but now there's this feeling of like problem solving or a logical solution that after you engage with that, you further break the money wound. And that's when either more abundance or more relief starts to come in. So the worst case scenario isn't going to happen, but neither is the best, because it's in your hands to problem solve based off of your experience and wisdom that you've gained so far from the overcoming of a previous money wound. So trust yourself to sit with your financial decisions and unpack them, because in doing so, you'll find what may have been holding you back. At death anniversary yesterday, we were just 14. Does he have a message for me so similar to my dad? There's this energy of both of them, as in Pat and your dad. It's almost like you're seeing similarities in their energy because they're coming to help you embrace the same lesson within your life. And it feels like the lesson is how to put yourself into a state of receiving. How do I word this? How to put yourself into a state of receiving when you feel depleted, but you need to be in receiving mode in order to restart yourself out of the state of depletion. Almost like that quote where it's like you have to completely empty yourself to refill. It's that. You're noticing similar energy patterns in that. And the message is that this is someone's energy that's been with you all along. It's almost like this is someone who was always going to be a spirit guide. And if you look back on your time together, I feel like you'll see some kind of signs of that. Well, that's the wrong deck, but the central sun. Although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason. I'm with the rest of the family, so that would be the energy the same. And the bond we share is unbreakable and unforgettable. Any messages for the month of July? You're going to get major confirmation that you were right about something. Yeah. I almost want to say someone tried to gaslight you, and for a while you were questioning if you were misreading something, but it feels like you're getting a major sign or confirmation that you understood something correctly. And that, in essence, doesn't feel like the biggest deal, but what it feels like it does is it frees you or opens you up to realize other things that needed a shift of perspective, because whatever this is, you offer yourself forgiveness because of it. Yeah, no longer stuck in the past, the star on its side. Like, I'm finding my way back to myself. I'm no longer stuck in the past. Almost like a confirmation of the purity of your own intentions. Almost like you're questioning if you did the right thing because you're not sure if you read the situation correctly, but you're about to recognize that you did. Feels like not necessarily that recent. After this one, I'm going to go back to the other list for a little bit. Had a spontaneous awakening 1 month before I almost passed away. Was it to prepare me to fight and survive everything that was coming, because I wouldn't without it. Your team preparing you to, almost like a bungee cord being cut away that was holding you to the past. So your team preparing you to face that independently, because the floodgates were going to break open and you were going to have to go through some kind of dark night of the soul, Hierophant in reverse, death and rebirth, dark night of the soul, where there was a problem you couldn't avoid, to help you learn about yourself and how you can pick yourself back up from this state of defeat, even when you weren't anticipating the battle that you have found yourself in. Will you still love yourself through it? So I would say yes, because what it did was unlock your ability to forgive yourself and love yourself on a deeper level. And that's what you needed to keep pushing or fighting at that time. Let me go back here. What suggestions do my guides have to offer me this week? So you're saying this week, but I feel like this is something that's coming within the next 8 to 10 days. I'm seeing these literally 8 to 10 days, so a little bit more than a week. This week is preparing you for it, though. There's some kind of trigger or wound that's going to be coming to the surface so that it can be transmuted. Sure was. Some kind of imbalance being corrected. Almost like if there's a seesaw, right? And under the one side of the seesaw, this is what I'm seeing. There's a boulder blocking it, right? So in order for your seesaw, which in essence is the flow between your masculine and feminine energies, being and doing, receiving and giving, to restore the balance there, the boulder needs to be removed. So there's some kind of trigger coming to the surface so the boulder can be removed so you can get back in flow. Soul contracts in reverse. So this is the last, I almost said last straw with another individual. This is like the ending of a soul contract between you and another person. Root chakra blockage, so that you can restabilize yourself. But I don't think it's this week. I think it's 8 to 10 days. Or within 8 to 10 days. Token and song. The sun, number 26 and the sun. Shining light on which is the next right action. This feels literal financial. I know it's pentacles, but it doesn't feel like grounding or 3D. It feels like there's going to be an opportunity to see how to correct course on some kind of financial stagnancy or financial debt. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, something that was previously holding you back from that ease of mind when it comes to finances. Love Wins by Carrie Underwood. That sounds like you're getting this opportunity or this shift because of some kind of recent test passed where you were able to stay true to who you were despite other people out of it or life trying to pull you out of it. Message from my spirit guides. It feels like you recently have been ignoring or disregarding certain intuitive hits or hints, is what I almost said, hints. You may feel like they're hints, okay, about a certain individual in your circle or in your energy or in your maybe workplace or friendship group. I read this as spirit heard conversations that you did not. And while it may be difficult to believe that someone could be so drastically different than how they appear to be, you're in the hits or hints that you're getting. Yeah, the blindfold coming off. Spirit's trying to help you to see clearly what spirit heard that you did not. Queen of Cups in reverse, that you did not. It did not flow to you. So I'd say be very mindful of what your intuition is telling you. And if you need to, ask for a confirmation. I'm looking at the situation. I'm like, should I read it like this? Go to your phone, hit a playlist and hit next. And the song that comes up will confirm if that's the right intuitive download. Oh, perfect sound. Good. Good. That makes me happy. I ordered these as soon as the other one muted. Let me go back to this list for a minute. Would it be more beneficial for me financially to try and get another corporate job in addition to the one I have, or focus on growing my Etsy shop? Another corporate job in addition to the one I have. Is there another option besides it? I would word this as it doesn't feel like the Etsy shop is where it needs to be to provide you the financial security. And there may be something that grows stress-wise if there's not a supplementation for what Etsy is not able to provide yet. So I do think you should focus on that, but I also don't feel like another corporate job in addition to the one you have is the right answer either. I feel like that's going to be too taxing on your mind, your energy. Is there like a different option, like maybe like a work from home supplemental income that still would allow you to increase finances while still having the energy to devote to your passion type projects? I don't feel like another corporate job is the right answer, but I also don't feel like Etsy is where it needs to be yet to make you not stress about it. So a third option with some kind of supplemental income that allows you to not completely drain yourself in the process. For some reason, I was feeling like travel agent type thing. I don't know if that's like literal, or that's like something you could do like from the phone or scheduling or something like that. How much time does my sister have left with us? Oh. Getting the number 3 as significant, I don't know if that's months or years. It depends on kind of, I guess, where the situation is right now. I kind of want to word this as something is approaching a turn that's not necessarily favorable. Psychic or clairvoyance confirmation. Extra. Recognition. So psychic clairvoyance would be confirmation about what I said about something not taking a favorable turn. Extra is on the card and it's underlined. So too much of something or something increasing or something could be even like swelling, like something more than it needs to be. That's the turn that's coming. Recognition. Yeah, I'm wondering if there's some kind of symptoms that they're trying to figure out what this is relating to. It feels like that's something that's going to be coming up as the issue. Almost like, okay, we finally figured out what's causing this is kind of or like we knew what was causing this, but we're figuring out why, or figuring out what it connects to. It feels like there's something like that. And I'm getting the number 3 as significant as well. I'm hearing to put one of these for you too. I feel like this card's for you, not your sister. Your anger is the part of you that knows mistreatment and abuse are unacceptable. Your anger knows you deserve to be treated well and with kindness. Your anger is the part of you that loves you. My ex hasn't eaten for days and feels so ill. Will he be okay? As if he's given up on life. No. I came out inside. This to me is kind of like a seesaw again, because this came out on its side and I put this one here and I said, okay, give me one for the other side. We have 10 of Cups in reverse, almost like he feels like I don't know how to ask for what I need because I don't want to burden other people with what I'm facing internally. Magician in reverse, I'm just not talking about. I'm just not communicating and I'm keeping it inside. Ace of Cups is reverse. It kind of gives me the feeling of like, I'm not sure what I want to do. I'm on the fence about how bad I want to let this get right now. I'm hopeful it can go in a better direction. I want to say it's going to get a little worse before it gets better, but I do feel like there's something that's going to kick him into gear to be like, okay, I can't give up yet. It's like I'm going into calmer waters, shining the sun on the fact that I need to figure out what's going on with me. This is all about self-exploration. So it's almost like I can't talk to other people because I don't know how to express it. So I finally reached a point where I'm like, am I going to deal with this? Or am I just going to almost like force other people to have to deal with it because I'm refusing to? But I don't want other people to deal with it. So that's what makes me come back around and deal with it. So I would say it's probably going to get a little worse before it gets better. But I don't feel like he's like giving up. What is the wound? I just want to say it feels something like family related. Inner critic. Emotional expression inhibition. I'm my own worst enemy and I'm so hard on myself that I feel like I don't deserve the help that I know I need. Is a new partner going to come into my life soon? I would say not as soon as you would like. It looks like, I'm just going to say this is a season where it's time to get very clear with yourself. Almost like there's this urgency to give. And this is the season to show yourself that you bring the whole table and you're offering for someone else to sit at it with you. It's not that they are offering everything. So there's this feeling of like correcting low self-concept. And as you do that, you'll usher in the person who matches that level with you. What card just fell on the, yeah, 6 of Swords. So you're heading into a better season, but first you need to get the boat to shore. And that would be you feeling the feelings and emotions of realigning with knowing that you are worthy and deserving of a partner who's going to treat you well without you having to overgive to receive that. So yes, but not as soon as you'd like. Is L trying to reach out and any messages? Well, that's a message or a messenger, the Knight of Swords. That would be L, the friend or the connection. You're letting something get to you without recognizing how much it's getting to you. because it's almost like you're unable to have another person recognize how they themselves are being closed-minded, but it's stressing you out so much because you're like, if I could just go in their brain and give them the perspective that I see for 2 seconds, they'd be able to recognize what this is. But it essentially the message is it doesn't feel like you're recognizing how much you're depleting your energy by hamster wheeling on that, because you're not doing it intentionally. You're doing it with the best of intentions, but it's still draining you. Yeah, it's still draining you. Almost like you're not recognizing how much you're trapped in your head about it. Once it stops, you'll recognize how trapped in your head about it you were. Seven of Swords. Feels like someone who's mistreating you or mistreating other people around that in some way. It affects you. Does Athena want to be my friend? Will we ever be close like I want to be? I want to say Athena is still trying to figure out what it really means to be a friend. Almost like your idea of friendship and their idea of friendship are different. And your idea of friendship feels to be more desirable to Athena. Like, I would like to see friendship in that way, but something's keeping me from seeing it in that way. So I'm a little bit holding back. I'm a little bit confused about how I should show up because I don't have the foundation. I don't know how to be a good friend or to allow one to be a good friend. Even if it may look like that on the outside, it's surface level. Will we ever be close like I want to be? I would say there's an opportunity for the two of you to get closer or take steps in that direction, but it's going to come from Athena going through something and you being the support or you being the advice giver or something like that. There's going to be a time where there's difficulty on Athena's end and it somehow starts to bring the two of you closer together. I don't feel like that's going to happen quickly though. 2 more, then hop back to the other list. Who are the spirits that peek into my bedroom at night? I don't want to use this deck. Do I? Yes, I do. Two of Cups in reverse. This is going to sound really direct and really weird. Google. Type into Google, young male spirit guide, black, shoulder length, curly hair, male. Relief of blocked messages. So the description of the mail I just gave you and type in relief from blocked messages. I don't know what you're going to get, but that's what I'm getting. I have a confirmation. Four of Pentacles in reverse, breaking away the foundation. Breaking away the foundation of what? Oh, blocked messages isn't a message. It's a spiritual download. Helping you to see from different perspectives, downloads that you've already gotten. I'm interested to see what comes up. Let me know what you get when you type that in, because I'm not going to remember to look it up later. Does July hold anything big for me? Look before you leap and don't rush to any decisions that are a big gamble. Not that anything bad is going to happen, but there's going to be the opportunity to take a gamble that it might not pay off. It's almost like you're being presented with the opportunity to put yourself in observer mode and wait for things to unfold instead of pushing them. And as you pass that test, you get some kind of financial step forward. Almost like your spirit team is like, hey, can you be presented with something but not get too far ahead of yourself? Because if you do, we have this opportunity for you, but it's going to require you taking your time. And it feels like that starts to unfold in July, especially because that's a 7. So that would be July. That's like the plan beginning to unfold to push you into position for what comes next. Let me hop back over here. Messages from my guides. Needing to give love to your inner child or allow for some kind of inner child expression here. Happiness is a choice. Yeah, inner child again. Needing to connect with your inner child because you might not be recognizing how the lack of creative flow from the disconnection with your inner child is preventing you from taking some kind of step forward. So it's time to... What battle? Battle of self-sabotage. It's time to stop the battle of self-sabotage because as you face what you've been avoiding, it allows for a creative solution to come forth. I keep seeing this deck right from as soon as I saw your name. Hold on. Coming together, harmony in the heavens, and resolution. So it helps you figure out a solution to something that's been persisting because it's trying to point you back to recognizing the inner child disconnection. So reconnecting with the inner child and healing in that way is going to help show you what comes next. Rainbow by Casey Musgraves is the song playing too. Any message from my dad? We didn't have a good relationship. The message is very direct. For making you feel like everything else was more important than my time with you. I didn't recognize until my life review how selfish that I was being by where I was directing my energy. I'm so happy here, carefree with no earthly worries, and it is not your fault. It was not you that caused him to not have that best focus where it should have been. These were his own wounds that he was trying to avoid facing that made him run from himself. Power in reverse, strength. I feel like when I say this, you're going to be like, yeah, that's something he would say. How do I word this in a way that I can word it? Although there's certain things that he's not the most proud of, he does recognize how certain things that you went through because of him or in regards to him, how they helped prepare you to handle other obstacles in your life. So like, while he wishes there's things he could change, he also recognizing is not that he's like asking for credit for it, right? But it's more like, at the very least, I do see how the resilience that you learned from our relationship helped you in other areas of your life. I feel like I said that kind of how he wanted me to say it. Do one more of these. I'm very proud of you. Keep pushing through. Well, all right. It just made me teary. It was very direct. What is my career path looking like for the month of July? I'm glad everyone loves the lives. Ace of Swords in reverse. Justice. Oh. I will quote this as you're no longer being silenced, or your voice is no longer able to be stifled. Balance is being restored. I almost want to say the career moves that you're starting to make are breaking you out of some kind of previous throat chakra. I can't believe this is a card that just came out. Throat chakra, like one of those padlocks on a gate is what I'm seeing. You tried to open the gate, you tried to put a key in, it wouldn't open, so you're busting through the gate. Inner teenager. I knew that's what I was trying to say, and then this came out and I was like, that's an inner teenager thing to do. Your inner teenager is rebelling in a way that brings about the establishment of where you'll be successful in career. Should I try to learn Reiki? I'm not saying no, but I do feel as though there's a step that needs to come first. And I feel like it's working on channeling or mediumship or some type of like spirit communication. It could just be more studying needed first. So I'm not saying no, because I do feel like that's in your path. But I feel like there's something that comes first, that if the right thing comes first, it makes that part of the journey more fluid or in flow. Why do I feel like it's mediumship? Working in on whatever gifts have been starting to arise to the surface, it feels like either that comes first or that in combination with Reiki. So I'm not saying no, but I'm feeling like there's something else that you're being called to more so than that right now. Almost like something else helps lay the foundation for that. Go back over here for a little bit. For the self-employment card, I have my spiritual jewelry side business, but I hate using, oh, okay. I hate using social media to grow it. Just moved to South Carolina. Is networking in person the right move? It's a right move, but it will be slower and may not connect you with everyone that it would be helpful for you to connect to. I feel like maybe I mentioned this to you before. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't you. Because I'm getting this as a reference of like really hammer in this point, essentially. Like a faceless account, or like an account just like, it doesn't have to be you until you get comfortable. I do feel like social media, not make or break, but I feel like it's like a step below make or break. It's really going to push you where you want to be. How successful can your biz get? You could reach a higher level, but something's holding you back. I feel like it's stepping out of your comfort zone with the social media. Even if it's a faceless account, I feel like it's going to be responsible for a majority of the networking, even if you network in person as well. It's like connections that you wouldn't be able to make that way, you can make the other way. Thank you. These for you. The universe has only 3 answers for us. Yes, not right now, or I have something better for you. This feels like yourself. You're facing a question that you had and shining the light on it in a different way. Any message for me? I'm feeling a bit drained today, but a spiritual shift. You're processing something that's come to the surface. Almost like the body keeps the score of certain traumas. It's almost like you've mentally and emotionally processed this particular trauma, but it's coming through like how your body needs to process it so that you can almost like this is a weird example. This is not literal. You know, when you go get a flu shot and it's supposed to prevent you from getting the flu, that's kind of the message I'm getting, is like you're getting run down so that you don't get run down. So your body's releasing this trauma or this wound so that the wound does not hold you down long term. So I guess the message is like, just let it happen. Just allow yourself to just be and listen to your body. It is really the message. Allow yourself to be and listen to your body. Yeah, you can't see how things are working out, but like, see how she's blindfolded, so she doesn't know that the birds are taking the blindfold off, but they are. They're preparing her, is kind of what I'm getting. What is the wound that your body's releasing? Oh, spiritual awakening challenges. Oh, you are a hot air balloon and the bags that are holding it down are being cut away. So it might be uncomfortable, but it's preparing you for takeoff. Will I ever feel I have found my real purpose for being here? There are certain messages that come to you as you're processing healing. And right now, the purpose for you being here is to learn how to trust yourself again so that you can be given instructions on what the best use of your energy or time would be, not only for yourself, but for others. So I guess I'd say the non-action right now of not trying to do, but allowing yourself to just be as present as possible within yourself so that you can figure out, almost like you're chipping away at walls, and your purpose is to chip away at this whole wall that's been surrounding you. And as you do that, you find your purpose in the moments and in the wisdom and in the experiences that you have as you chip around the walls. So doing what has to be done to trust yourself again, because you have the discernment that would allow for that trust to be the right thing. So I almost want to say your purpose right now is you. You are your purpose. And as you pour into yourself, you find other ways to express your purpose because you align with your purpose, which is you. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Here, and then I'm going to hop back to the other list. Where did Henry lose his tooth? Sleeping, eating, miscellaneous. He's 6. Let me take that back so I didn't finish. Sleeping, eating, miscellaneous. Not sleeping. I don't feel as though it's sleeping unless he co-sleeps, and then it may be a situation. It feels like it's more towards eating. What I'm seeing is other people being around and not recognizing that this had happened, like him not recognizing that this happened. So I don't know if that means eating or if that means if there was a co-sleeping situation, it could have been during that. But it feels like there's other people around and I don't recognize this happens and then it's gone. But I also, I'm not feeling miscellaneous strongly either. It's like either we're at a table eating, we're in bed sleeping, or maybe on the couch sleeping. One of those two feels very strongly like what happened. How is my Aunt Jackie's health? I don't know if I should word this as some kind of scare that ends up not being as bad as it seems it could be. Or if that's already happened, then there's some kind of change that will alleviate an upcoming scare. Kind of want to word this as things may seem worse on the outside, or they may seem not as bad as what it may seem, is how I want to word that. So this was in reverse. Medical in reverse. Bad boy in reverse. Deceased in reverse. Some kind of scare that ends up being not as bad as it seems. What do I need to know about my current romantic relationship and its future? There's potential, but it feels like there's tough conversations that need to be had so that the things that you're unwilling to settle for don't just remain the same. What's this 9 of Wands? Someone's fearing vulnerability, and it's causing where you could be on the same page to not be able to fully be on the same page because of the fear of vulnerability. And it feels like either now or in the future, one of you are going to feel like you're walking on eggshells around the person who's fearing vulnerability until some kind of tough conversations happen. I'll put it like this. It's okay if you've been with someone for a bit of time and you're still learning how to love one another. Just because there's still things to learn doesn't mean that it's not right for you. It just means that there's either more conversations to be had or more unpacking of wounds to do. I would say I feel hopeful about this, but there is certain things that will have to be overcome still. Will my financial situation improve soon? You're getting a different perspective on how to either alleviate some kind of debt, lessen some kind of expenses, something like that. It doesn't feel like more is coming in yet. It feels like you're taking, I want to say like taking better care, because it doesn't feel like you've been reckless. It just feels like you're finding better ways to manage what you're already dealing with. So one second. Here we go again. I re-downloaded this and it's still doing this. Well, that was the High Priestess that came out. So confirmation. Sorry, let me fix this. What the heck? almost like something frees up just enough so that you can start to have the energy to like face things again instead of feeling like you're just depleted because of stress. So an alleviation of stress, that's a step in the right direction, but not necessarily where you want to be yet, but it's a step in that way. Will I ever go to Scotland? Is it possible that you could change who you were going to go with? Happen sooner for you, but someone else's thing or a schedule or fears on it, something's holding you back, but it's not you. So I do see that this is possible, but I want to say like being very mindful about who you're including in your plans. Yeah, Queen of Cups in reverse, blocking your flow. King of Cups. I feel like it's possible, but being very mindful about who you're including in these plans seems to be very significant. Will my depression eventually go away? What is causing this? Humiliation wounds. Third eye chakra and spiritual crisis. So wound, feeling not good enough, low self-concept, feeling like your emotions or feelings don't matter. Causing third eye would be visualization, problem solving, because you can visualize how to get through a problem. Hopefulness for the future, because your third eye allows you to see possibilities. So it feels like because of yourself, because of the humiliation wound or similar, it's causing you to not see what is possible or how things could unfold up ahead, which is causing this spiritual crisis. Yeah, Nine of Swords. That's what's worrying you. So we trace this feeling of despair back to it's causing a spiritual crisis. The spiritual crisis is being caused by a lack of being able to visualize positive solutions in the future, wanting to hide or dim yourself, which is stemming ultimately from the humiliation wound. This feels like a childhood wound. Yeah, you're trying to protect your inner child. Your inner child or your childhood self once felt very free, very expressive, and the humiliation wound made you shrink that, dim that. That's the part of you that needs the light right now, needs the attention right now. So will it go away? Yes, but it will go away as you face the source of it. I'm still looking for my 7 plus Whispers of the Unsolved cards. Are they at my house or my daughter's house? Your house? Oh. Daughter's house. I feel like they may have been moved to your daughter's house. What did I say last time? It was I picked them up unknowingly and brought them somewhere they shouldn't have been. Oh, that could be your daughter's house. Nicole, if you're still in here, can you put your email in the chat? Or decks that are open that are not the final copy, but if those 7 cards I can get out of that deck, I can send you just the 7 cards. So send Nicole or me an email about which ones you're missing. If you look on my stand store, the whole list of them should be there. Trying to see if there's anyone I did not get. I'm going to stay on about another 20-ish minutes, 20, 25. And I'm going to come back on again. Today's Tuesday. Thursday is 4th of July. Probably Friday. Will my son start speaking to me anytime soon? What was that? Thought it was Knight of Cups. I swear I saw Knight of Cups. Okay, I guess not. Maybe that's a sign. Thought I saw Knight of Cups, but I did not see Knight of Cups. So I thought that you maybe you feel like there may be a message, but you've been waiting and waiting and it hasn't come. That's because he's committed right now to this tower, and the tower is causing a lack of communication. So I thought I saw the Knight. I didn't. You're waiting for a message. It's not coming. You thought you would have received it by now. It feels like he's stuck in a state of mind that's not serving him right now. So I don't feel like anytime soon is a way that I would word this. Judgment. 8 of Wands in reverse. It's kind of giving like I made a final decision about not speaking to you, and something drastic needs to happen to get me to change that. Yeah, 8 of Cups, walking away from something unfulfilling. Something drastic needs to happen to get me to change that. I need to be forced to walk away from that mindset that I'm committed to right now. I unfortunately don't feel like anytime soon. Almost like he has to hit a rock bottom, or he has to have some kind of wake up call, which doesn't have to be a rock bottom, but like even if it's like a mental temporary short-lived fear or something, a realization of a fear that would be symbolic of a rock bottom. Go back to some of these. Is there a message from my brother Scott? There's a need to be patient with yourself in your grief. It feels like there's something coming up that's going to be difficult for you. I don't know if it's an anniversary of something, a birthday or something. It's almost like you're already anticipating the emotions coming to the surface. And there's this subconscious, like, I should be able to handle this better, I guess, from you to yourself. And the message is that you have to be patient with yourself through your grief. It comes in waves. Healing is not linear. Healing is ebbs and flow, valleys and hills, you know. And there's a feeling of trying to rush yourself through your feelings, and that's causing you to intellectualize them instead of feel them. So whatever it is that you're worried about that's coming up, he's right there with you. But he needs you to be with you too, and you not to be running from you. Yeah, self-exploration, you. I always give you a good night kiss and thank you for all you have done for me. Star and the Lovers. I split the middle of the deck to grab them. Thank you for all you have done for me. Whatever you're doing to keep his name alive, he's very appreciative of that. I tend to believe this is like a what would Scott do type of thing that plays in your mind sometimes. Like you reference how he might handle things, or it's like you recognize when you do certain things that he'd be proud of, and he's very appreciative of that. He feels included, I guess is the word. I just want to say the message is like, you keep me included. I like being included. You keep me included. Oh, So Alive by the Goo Goo Dolls was playing. City of Stars by Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. 2 people. City of Stars. Hold on. Are you shining just for me? To look in somebody's eyes, to light up the skies. There's something you're doing that is keeping his memory alive that he's exceedingly proud of. One more here, then I'm going to pop back to the other list. Did the sigil I got tattooed on my back do anything to me spiritually? Do you believe in magic by the Lovin' Spoonful? Shima? You know that game where it's like a cylinder and there's a bunch of sticks that go in and then there's marbles you put on top of the stadium ball? That's what I'm seeing. Almost like that opened the door for certain situations to come in that would be removing of the stick, so certain pieces or downloads could come in, specifically generated around the use of your throat chakra as you heal pieces of the past. I guess I'd say like it called in certain opportunities that would have come, but later. Almost like you saying, okay, I'm putting this intention, I'm ready for these experiences, and then they start coming in, if that makes sense. Seeing this deck, hold on. Oh, Crystal Skull Wisdom, the downloads. Clarity, divine healing, and high vibrational energy. And star being healing codes. Important information, wounds are healed and recharging. A recharging of almost like a plugging in of your crown chakra. Like you setting that intention was like, okay, I'm ready. If that makes sense. All right, let me go back to this list. Am I going to be dealing with many more challenges this year? I would say there's certain unavoidable, it doesn't necessarily feel like tests or challenges. It feels more like situations that will test you, or you can use your discernment and not have to deal with the burden of them. So like following your discernment will help you avoid certain challenges, but not following your discernment, there may be certain tests to still overcome. Being very mindful about the way that you are viewing yourself and how much other people's perspectives of you or perceptions of you is affecting the way you see yourself. As long as you keep that clear, your discernment will allow you to avoid any major challenges. My son had a heart appointment today. Should we be worried? He is 38. It feels like there's more to see or there's more to know. So I don't know if that's like I go to this appointment and they recommend me to go see a specialist, or inconclusive as it feels to be the energy. Like I don't have all the answers yet. It almost feels like there's like a recommendation, go talk to this person, or here's the next step. And it's almost like something that he may want to avoid. Like, okay, everything's fine for right now. But I feel like if there's a second step that is given, like go see this person, and he doesn't want to, I feel like it's better to go get that second opinion. Because it feels like there's something, but also it's something that could be manageable, but almost like there's some, they can't figure out what it is right away. Yeah, Ace of Swords in reverse. We don't know what to tell you. Keep hearing inconclusive. There's another step that's going to be needed. I don't feel like it's anything emergency, but I feel like it's something that over time needs to be taken care of sooner rather than later. Will my mom end up keeping her rental or finding something different? feel like right now it's more towards keeping the rental, but it's almost it's also there's something that's not right, or that she's not happy with, or that almost like the timeline is different than it may appear to be. It may appear to be that that decision would be happening right now, where it feels like it's happening a little later. Almost like she has to get more annoyed by something in the rental before she's like, okay, I'm done. But I feel like right now, keeping the rental, at least for this season or period of time. Do a couple more on this list and then hop back over. Oh, everyone's saying the new mic sounds good. Yay. I highly recommend this. It's called a bone conductor or something. I don't know. It like doesn't hurt your ears. Oh no, the mic sounds choppy. I'm gonna have to listen back to this and see. Will my love life improve in the coming months, or is in a song? Not as you'd like. I almost feel like some kind of plan or solution doesn't go as intended, and needs more time. Yeah, 5 of Pentacles would be like the stresses you're facing now not being alleviated in the time frame that would be ideal. And the song is Unappreciated by Erica Mason. Needing to pour into yourself is very important right now. Oh, occasionally it sounds like it's crackling. Wonderful. I'm going to see what I can do about that. At least it's not muted. Oh, too soon. That's not even funny. Any messages from Chiron Horman? Help me locate him. Please do a follow-up on his case before I move out of Oregon. Oh, yes. I think I did see your comment. Let's see. Did I use the Whispers deck? Messages from him. What can... Crossroad. Struggle. Devil in reverse and tunnel underground. Tunnel underground. Devil, I'm trying to hide what I did. Underground. Crossroad would make me feel kind of close. Struggle, I didn't have the means to get you hidden further. Is it fair to say that we'd be looking somewhere within a 10-mile radius of the home? Mighty affluent upper class in reverse. So someone abusing the knowledge that they had. Oh, this has an airplane on it. What did I say? Within 10 miles? So that would be yes, because not further, not within flying distance, not further. Would it be fair to say that we're looking in the ground or underground in some way? Travel. That's where they went. I went underground, not far. 10-mile radius underground. If you could give us one major clue that would help someone who's familiar with the area. Confession, making a deal in reverse. Trash in reverse. So this feels like not near any official buildings and not in like a trash landfill area. Medical emergency. Would there be any hospitals or anything similar within a 10-mile radius of the house? We'd be looking for like a forest or woods near there is what I feel. Embezzlement, that's where I'm hidden. And money would be a confirmation. Yes. Embezzlement hidden. Send me an email. Anybody about 10-mile radius from Chiron's home. Any hospitals or medical centers that are in that area. I'm going to look at a list and see if I get anything from that. I have a confirmation from Chiron if that was the message. Fear. Okay. I read the fear as a confirmation because I do believe he was afraid because he did not do that to himself. Oh, M and JF, thank you for being a member. You've healed too much to not raise the bar on who has access to your energy. Will our finances get better soon? So you say are. I'm wondering if there's someone that needs to get on the same page, like almost like if we can agree to get on the same page about this and focus our efforts in this direction, we have the opportunity to overcome some kind of blockade. Yeah, walking away from something unfulfilling. It feels like something needs to change, but multiple people need to get on the same page about this change. What will happen if that does occur? Yeah, something being stuck in the past, but the wheel will turn if you can get on the same page. I feel like not as soon as you'd like, but things are going to start moving in that direction more fluidly after there's some kind of agreement that people come to here. It could be agreeing to dump any extra money into alleviating kind of debt. It could be being mindful. It feels like something different than mindful with spending. But a need to get on the same page and work together feels very important. I'm going to go back to the other list after this one. My twin sister is diabetic and recently had renal failure. I'm worried. The world. Oh, you asked me how long your sister has. Okay. The world. The wheel. Is this one where I said there was the number 3? Because the world would be 2 + 1 is 3. Still feels like there's something that ends up taking, I said taking longer instead of taking a turn. Recovery after, this came out in reverse. Recovery after illness, a healthy body, return to work. Action and change, but it was in reverse. It's like something that you're hopeful is going to help with something doesn't end up helping as much as it should or as much as it could, if that makes sense. But it doesn't feel like it's anything that's her fault. It's almost like just I don't know, like I guess like a treatment that doesn't work as well for her or just in general. Anything for me from my mom, grandmother, or Maury and Linda? Yes. Communication. Strength in reverse. Mom, grandmother, Maury, or Linda? Is this mom or is it grandmom? It's like grandma who passed first. Grandmother. There's a fear that you have. I almost want to say this is your grandmother referencing your mother. There's something that you wish you could have done differently, and you're being told to put down the burden. Almost like your grief is making you not remember something as good as it actually was, or as not bad as your mind may be making it to be. In an effort to process your grief, you're overthinking something that's causing you to feel like you wish you could have done something differently, but you're being guided to put down the burden of that. The Hierophant. Higher knowledge, message coming down from heaven. I said what I said. I love you with all my soul's being, and the earth is our school of lessons. Whatever it was had to happen in the way it happened so that everyone could get what they needed to out of the experience. So there's a need to forgive yourself. And stop being so hard on yourself about it. I'm trying to get a song, and none of these are the right song. 1 second. Start Me Up by the Rolling Stones. Wondering if your grandma is someone that once she gets started, it's hard to like refocus her energy. Almost like it feels like that was like a signature, like, oh yeah, by the way, it's me type of thing. New member, thank you. Don't allow loneliness to make you reconnect with toxic people. We don't drink poison just because we're thirsty. Any messages for me today? I'm going to stay on about 10 more minutes, get through as many as I can. There's a need to free yourself from an apology that you might never receive but are owed. It's almost like you're questioning, am I even worthy of this apology because the other person's not giving it to me? And you are. They just don't have the space to let themselves process what it would take emotionally to give you that apology. So there's a need to release an apology that you haven't received yet, because it's going to allow you from a different light or a different perspective. Closing the chapter where you felt disconnected from your someone else's grief that was projected onto you as anger. So they felt grief, projected that onto you as anger. They owe you an apology. You're being guided to release it so that you no longer carry the anger that came with it that wasn't yours. What wound is being highlighted for you to heal with this? Oh. Body, spirit, dissonance, and past life wounds. So a feeling of escapism. So if you're carrying someone else's emotions, it's hard to identify where it came from, what originated this wound, because it's not yours, right? So there's a feeling of needing to sit with it so that you can observe and know it's not yours and then release it. This is past life wounds. In previous lifetimes, you carried people's burdens for them often. So it's a pattern that has renewed in this lifetime that you need to be conscious of in order to break the pattern of. All right, last one here. I'm going to hop back to the other. Any messages from my husband? Was your husband a very private person? I'm wondering. Go to a playlist in your phone that would make you think of him. I'm going to give you a song too, but you're going to go like you could go to any place. It's not going to be your playlist, but a playlist that has a bunch of like either love songs or songs that would make you think of him. The 5th song, the 7th song, and the 3rd song in that order. 5th, 7th, 3rd. The message is that there's something he wants to kind of hand to you privately, essentially. It feels like a specific conversation you've been having in your mind that he's going to complete. so that you can unstuck yourself from it, because it's causing you pain. He wants you to see yourself from the light of the way that he sees you, so you can release that pain and get your energy back, or get your desire to push through obstacles that make you feel like it would be easier if he was there. It's almost like you have this feeling of defeat at times, and he wants to help shift your perspective to work through that differently. I'm going to give you a song too, but he wants you to go complete the message. Into the Mystic by Van Morrison. Into the Mystic. I'm being shown going into like foggy, over the lake on a boat. Once you go into the fog, you can't see anything else. Like, I want to complete the message privately. That's funny. Take the blindfold off on the bottom of the deck. I'm trying to see if there's anyone on this side that I did not get to yet. Does the podiatrist know he broke my foot during surgery and intentionally not tell me? CT showed a post-surgery fracture. Star in reverse. Justice. I don't want that private information to be made public, because I'm trying to make sure that I don't have to pay the consequences of this catastrophic element. Is kind of, how does he know he broke my foot during surgery and intentionally not tell me? Was it intentional to not tell you about this? The world, yeah, because I'm trying to get away from this. I'm trying to close the chapter. I almost want to say he didn't recognize the severity of it, but when he saw a fracture, he couldn't have been all the way surprised. Because of the actions he took that he didn't have the patience to deal with previously. And I was hoping to sprout into anything because of my actions. And that came out when I said not being surprised to see that on the CT. I would say didn't understand the extent of something, but knew that something was off. Who was I in my past life, and what am I not learning? Construction, builder, architect, rise of civilization, and unalived. Construction to me feels like ideas or ideals or a mindset. Yeah, hunted down for that. Someone who was helping to build a structure where it was like a safe place for people, or a structure based around love. It feels like we're hunted down for that. How did that show up in this life in a way that you're not learning? There's a need to connect spiritually so that you can usher in the knowledge and wisdom. It almost feels like, what are you not learning? It almost feels like what is next for you to learn is to connect with those past life remembrances through meditation, hypnosis, something to that effect, channeled writing, channeled drawing, getting your active mind out of the way and allowing the flow of what you have stored in your mind from past lives to come through. Almost like that's going to highlight the wounds that still need to be addressed in this lifetime as well. Vulnerability, aversion, psychic attachments, but it came out in reverse. So your past life made you avoid vulnerability, and connecting with the past lives now will help show you what you need to detach from so that you can heal the wound that was accumulated in the previous lifetime when you were taken out for trying to build a foundation of love or a safe place. Almost like that made you feel like it's not safe to feel and express, because when you did, it led to that in a past life. Any messages from my mom? There's a situation where you were trying to change someone's mind or convince someone to see something from a different a situation where you were right and they were wrong, but they weren't seeing that. And the message is you can't get everyone to wake up to the truth. Things that you see clearly are very foggy for other people based off of their experiences. And I want to word this as you did everything that you could or that you needed to do. And this is a lesson that the other person is going to have to learn on their own. I've gone through my life review and there are so many lessons still to be learned. Stop second guessing and wondering what if you made the right decision. So you did the right thing. You did all you could do. The other person has to learn. Almost like a situation where they'll learn more from your absence, because your light being gone will show them the darkness they're sitting in. Nope. Okay, what song was that just came on? The Longest Time by Billy Joel. I was about to say that, and I saw an image of my grandma smacking my hand away from candy. So I don't know if that has any reference to you, but almost like she was telling me through that vision that that was the wrong song. Oh. What can I do to help my friend be? It's that image that I give about being stuck in a well and you have a rope, but you need something above to tie the rope to so you can climb out. And I usually say that you tie that rope to a tree. You're the tree. So it's like kind of directing, be in the direction of here's something outside of you that would be fulfilling, but it's almost like you need to be what pulls be towards that, or that stabilizing energy, essentially. So helping B figure out what they could dedicate their energy to outside of themselves that would kind of get them out of their hamster wheel of thought, or like thought traffic, needing to have a break from that, but needing to be directed in the best way to do that, if that makes sense. What wound is B dealing with? Unresolved grief and body-spirit dissonance. So I feel like I'm unable to sit with my feelings and emotions because of grief that I'm not facing. So like when you know that, you can figure out how to maneuver being a tree in that case, a hypothetical tree. Any messages from my dad? Whatever it was that you recently felt very unsupported through, it's almost like you wish that somebody would have had your back or been there, maybe to talk or discuss or like let your emotions out. There wasn't anyone that would be able to hold the space of the depth of what you were feeling. And there was a need to process that by yourself so that it did not feel like your grief or sadness was watered down, brought into the shallow end. sometimes you don't recognize the depth that you hold because you dim it for other people's comfort. So when certain feelings and emotions come up, sometimes it's not necessarily a punishment that you're facing them without the support that you would ideally like. It's facing them alone so that you have the space to hold for yourself to express the fullness and the depth of your emotions and not have to swim in the shallow end when you're able to scuba dive in the deep end of your emotions. When you see butterflies, that's me, and I will always point you in the right direction. Next time you see a butterfly that seems to really grab your attention, go to a playlist and shuffle. There'll be either a confirmation of this or like another piece of this. Let me go back to this list. I'm going to do as many as I can, but I'm going to hop off in about 5 minutes. What is in my future? What is being highlighted right here is a change of perspective, people leaving your life so that there's space for the new people that will be more supportive of you to come in. It feels almost like a change of scenery when it comes to people. And the message is to kind of just let it happen because it's happening for your benefit. Yeah. Even if it's people who have been in your life for a while, it's almost like you're going into a next chapter and whoever is not an energetic match for that chapter can't come into that chapter. So are you going to hold yourself back to stay with them, or are you going to release who needs to be released so you can walk into that next chapter? Because it feels like something better is waiting for you in that chapter that you're not going to find in this chapter. And it's an opportunity to seize happiness that's not present in this chapter now, or in a new way than how it would be in this chapter. Does Dan have romantic feelings for me? Did Dan have romantic feelings for me 20 years ago? I'm committed to not telling you about how I feel because I don't feel like I would be equal in balance to you, but I see you as this Queen of Cups. I just can't tell you that. I'm confused about where I would stand or what I have to bring to the table. Does he still? I don't feel like it's something that is actively sought out, but if you crossed paths, I do feel like he would. So I don't know if I'd say he does, but I would say if the opportunity, if he was reminded of it, it would renew is the message I'm getting with that. Like if you bumped into each other or you happen to have a conversation, I feel like it would be quick to restart is what I'm saying. I have a message regarding love in the fall months. The song is Message in a Bottle by the Police. And as I just started pulling cards, sending out an SOS keeps playing, like sending out a signal. It feels like you're getting news that is not the best news, but is almost like expected news. And it may not be news. It may be like a changing of something that you expected. Or at least anticipate it. There's going to be a decision that you have to make that doesn't feel clear, but you're being guided to trust your intuition. I want to say the quote, redirection is divine protection or rejection is divine protection, but it doesn't feel like you're being rejected. It feels like you'd be the one that would have to be doing a rejecting or a rededication of your own energy. but like it's for your own benefit, even though it may be uncomfortable in the moment. Song and message from Grandma Ella. Within the next 4 to 5 weeks, so about a month, to be highlighting opportunities to show you where the light still needs to be for healing, for wounds that you're carrying that were not yours. Start Me Up by the Rolling Stones. I don't know if you've visited her recently or you've felt like she's visited you recently. It feels like there's a renewal of like, okay, now you're ready for this in terms of like ready to accept the healing without blaming yourself for it because they weren't your wounds. Is kind of what I'm getting. Yeah. Opportunity to align with a more fulfilling emotional state. What does Bear want to say to me with song? Don't let your fears hold you back. Your action in the opposite direction of some kind of fear. Don't Stop Believing by Journey. Oh, emotions. The only way out is through. So when things come to the surface, they need to be dealt with so that they can be transmuted. And it feels like there's something being avoided, but it's cycling back around so that you can unstuck yourself from being at the mercy of the wound and you can take your power back over it. I feel like this doesn't have anything to do with Bear, but this is something that Bear is observing about you that's keeping you off balance. An opportunity to correct an imbalance is approaching. That's the only young male, black, shoulder length, curly hair, spirit guide I'm seeing. Oh, Jesus. Wish fulfillment. Yes. I'm going to go with yes. What deck? One second. What deck could I confirm this with? This deck is really going to be ideal. Be the real you. Like, is it the real him? Oh, that's funny. Oh, it's a person taking off a suit of another person because Jesus would be inside of you. Freedom, authenticity, uniqueness, and courage. That even kind of looks like the hair is kind of the same. I'm going to go with yes. It feels like a direct yes. Let's get a song. Hold on. Oh Hey by the Lumineers. Oh, the Lumineers, the light. I've been trying to do it right. I've been living a lonely life. I've been sleeping here instead. Oh, because Temperance came out. I've been sleeping in my bed. Show me family, all the blood that I will bleed. Don't know where I belong. Don't know where I went wrong. But I can write a song. I belong with you. You belong with me. You're my sweetheart. No way did that just happen. Yes. I'm going to go with yes there. Okay. Those cards just came out. Brave Lexus, thank you for becoming a member. Is it really about you, or is someone else using you as a wall for their projections? Be careful of carrying burdens that are not yours to carry. All right, everyone, I'm going to do about 2 more, and then I have to hop off. Forgot to add my question. Where is my man/love? Where is he? Okay, that's direct. Currently trying to restabilize himself after some kind of, I'm taking this literal, okay? So like he climbed the mountain and he's made his way back down, but now there's the getting my footing again, or needing to restabilize my, I'm hearing career, or like something 3D. So like housing, moving, something like that. It feels like it's happening now. That's why there's no communication between the two of you yet. What is this 10 of Wands? Patience on something that did not go my way. The Tower in reverse. I avoided the worst case scenario, but there's been some kind of upheaval and it's taking me time to get the pieces back in place. So all of that fell out. We have the Sun in reverse, 10 of Cups, Ace of Cups. This is like, I want a future that is with a partner and is happy home life, but I'm not seeing how to get there yet, but I am taking steps to get back on track. What will be a sign of him coming to you? Demons by Bazanji just started playing. This person's dealing with something right now. Oh. So this could be dealing with a past family member that's the burden. This could be like dealing with an estate of a family member, or it could be some kind of upheaval where I'm disconnected from my family and I'm trying to put the pieces back together. It doesn't feel like that. It feels more like a loss of either a family member or a job or something to that effect. And I'm trying to get back on track. Strength and Queen of Cups. After I get back on track, we'll align. I'll try to do a couple more really quick. Karen, Danielle. Oh, all right. You carry trauma so gracefully, it almost looks like it's not heavy, and that just fell right onto the ground. What you endured would have knocked most other people down, and you continued to get back up each time. All right, I'm going to do 2 more from this list, and then I have to hop off. I don't know where I was. Why do people not care about me? I've been abandoned so many times in my life. What is that quote where it's like people's decisions that affect you, even though they seem, this is not the quote, but even though they seem like it's directed at you, it's more about a projection of what's happening internally. This to me is like the abandonments that you have faced is a spiritual battle to overcome, where in the 3D, it's not really about you. It's about what the other people are avoiding facing. But on a spiritual level, your soul is going through the refinement of, it feels like breaking wounds from a previous lifetime, where you always put others before yourself. So in this lifetime, that has also shown up where you've put others before yourself, but they've abandoned you. And the lesson is to come back around full circle to realizing that you deserve the time, effort, and energy that is difficult for you to give to you, but easy for you to give to others. So it's almost like the breaking of a previous past life wounded pattern. We have inner child wounds here. This feels like it started in childhood, and inferiority wounds. So putting yourself below others. So taking back your power. So in the physical, it feels like it's not necessarily you or something that you're causing. It's simply the alignment of them needing the lesson at the same time you need the growth. So as you take back your power, you'll find, you know, what's interesting? We have inferiority wounds and then spiritual arrogance on the bottom of the deck. It's almost like you put yourself below, but you've also experienced people who have put themselves above. So it's made that gap seem even more dramatic. But it doesn't feel like it's something you're causing. It just feels like the alignment of spiritual insight that you're ready to receive so that you can fully take back your power. All right, last one, then I have to hop off. And I'll be back on probably Friday, maybe Wednesday. My cards are telling me to concentrate on self-care right now. Are they right? And self-care in what respect? Strength coming out would be a big yes here. Shifting your perspective on something in the 3D. It feels almost like, I want to say literally movement or getting yourself back in your body. It feels almost like because you've been very spiritually focused, there's this level of needing to reground, but not like reground in nature, like reground in your body. So needing to figure out things that make you feel like you're able to be fully present in the moment in like a free spirited way and engaging in that as much as possible. Yeah, Hierophant. That aligns you back with your higher self and your current self in your body instead of your higher self being here and your current self being there and kind of like walkie talking. This like brings them back together, being present in the moment, doing something you enjoy that allows you to feel free is the self-care that you need right now. What's that, like active meditation or like something like that as well, like keeping yourself not just still but like moving forward while being present feels important. All right, everyone, I have to hop off. It's 8:30. What was I gonna say? What is my little spiel? Stan.store/The Reckoning Co. are all my links. If it's not in there, it's not me. If you are a mod, I just like minutes before this live, I gave Nicole list for the access code in the video that I talked about before. So if that's you, if you haven't reached out to her yet, you can. And if you're waiting on her to reply, it's because I literally just gave her the list before the live. Whispers deck is in stock. The Sacred Woundings deck, my proof copy should be here by Friday, it says, fingers crossed. If that is the case, then I will have them ordered by Sunday. I will be back on either tomorrow or Friday. If it's not in Stan.store/The Reckoning Co., it's not me. I think that's it. My brain's starting to go off. Okay. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you to my mods, and I will see you all soon.